Sorry.
Hello, hello.
Oh,
No worries. We
Hello.
are live on the YouTube. Hello, world.
Hello, everyone.
oh, I almost said happy
Um,
birthday.
Happy
It's
birthday.
happy Monday. Yeah, this is a Monday message on Tuesday
yeah.
because yesterday we were honoring the laborers of the world. So everybody was replenishing, hopefully, replenishing their energy stores and refilling their tanks, enjoying good time with friends and fam, or not, just napping, which would be good. Quick energy check. Just how are you feeling? 0 to 10, Neen?
7.5.
All right.
I'm
Mika,
echoing
how about you?
7.
Me too. I'm feeling solid 7,
Yeah.
7.5. Last week we had the messenger.
Mhm.
Showed up for me in a big way at that Sony event, just feeling like wanted to tell everyone about the radness of Swell and how we roll, and feeling like people were really picking up what we were putting down. Like, this is our moment, people understand like positive sum practice, what it looks like in real life when you're in a community that wants to collaborate and move together, especially like it was a lot of creatives and just I think they're naturally inclined to understand or to be drawn to collaboration. And as we talk about so much, there's just not enough frameworks or just not enough examples of how that works, like how distributed power really looks like in practice. A lot of lip service given to collaboration, but I felt like I was really able to show up in practice. So it was awesome. How about you all? Did Messenger show up for you last week?
Yeah, certainly in our wrap up of the, community resource guide that we put together. Similarly, just the active practice and kind of providing folks practical application tips and how to apply them, and even if you're unsure, do it unsure. Even if you're, don't know where to start, just ask a question, or you know what I mean? Like, starting looks different for everyone. And so you never know when you are delivering the message that someone maybe really actually needs in that moment, So yeah, I think
Totally.
people sending it. And I realized that comes from my own comfort in having just security in the space and the people that I rock with, day in and day out. And realize that that's not everybody's reality. And so, yeah, for a lot that discomfort exists, and just making a decision to do it anyway, if you can.
Right. Name it and step into it. And like
Yeah.
just in the doing of that, giving permission to other people
Yeah.
that maybe don't feel they have that power in that moment. Like, wow, Mika's doing it, like I can do it, or I can ask for help. I love it. I love it.
Presentation matters.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. How about you, Neen?
Similarly, yeah, just being able to, or feeling inspired to communicate directly, be honest. I think I shared more privately that was a big part of my week last week, is not being afraid to say when I need help or if I'm having a tough day. Finding a way to communicate that, not in a way that puts it on other people, but really actually lets them know what's going on with me. I know it'd be hard to find that balance, but not only is it important, but it lets people really know where you're at. But it doesn't mean it's easy to do, or that any of us are really shown like great examples of doing that, being honest about having a bad day or that you can't do something.
Yeah.
Nobody likes to say that. Nobody likes to say I can't, or this is where I'm at. But I do feel like I stepped through that hurdle last week, or stepped over. Hopefully not through it. I jumped over that hurdle last week. So I definitely
It's okay to knock it down and step over it.
Right.
It's okay.
I actually just ran into it last week. No, but I definitely felt the power of the messenger within me last week. So that's good. And things have already started to improve this week. So yeah. What about you, Emily?
Well, I think, like I was saying about that condo thing, the Sony trip, like just being able to talk to folks about how we do things and then show up in the way that we do things. And that is like the scariness of exposing one's vulnerability is directly tied to our zero-sum programming, right? Because to expose vulnerability, if you do it in tic-tac-toe, it's exploited immediately. That weakness, right? So it's scary to expose where you're vulnerable, and asking for help is essentially exposing a vulnerability. I don't know a thing and I need help, right? And so like being in community where you can do that, you can practice that and step to that edge and have it held safely and not exploited for some kind of zero-sum outcome is really like where, yeah, like that mindset piece of like get into the positive sum mindset of like it's a safe place for me to express a vulnerability because it will be held.
Yeah.
And like showing people how to do that, and the trust that it builds when you express your vulnerability and then it's held, that is power building.
Yeah,
That's where the positive sum power building happens.
I read a great quote. I'm probably going to botch it here, but this week I saw something that said something to the effect of when you when you don't communicate your message, you think that you're being pleasant or solving a problem, but really glossing over something or absorbing it yourself. It said the worst case is when you then don't actually wipe the slate clean by trying to be by neutralizing something, but you end up actually internalizing it, and that we all have to be mindful of that. And it's kind of a good reminder now in hindsight that like we should always be the messenger, and that if there's truth that needs telling, it's important to be bold enough to tell it, because either you're communicating it or you're not necessarily telling the truth. And there's a way to message anything, but like there, you don't have to be rude or difficult about it, but that you need to.
I mean, you don't have to assign blame or judgment. It's just like, this is what I'm seeing in this moment. This is what I'm feeling in this moment.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, y'all. I'm shuffled. Are we ready?
Yeah.
Oh, there she is.
The administrator.
No, the king.
The king? Okay.
Back to ruling always survey. I mean, that's okay. I think that's a perfect segue from sending out the message. And now we're back to powerfully leading our mission.
Yeah.
Love that.
And being careful not to be autocrats, being careful not to isolate ourselves up on the throne, and strengthening our necks, because the head is, what is it? The crown weighs heavy on the head or something like that. I can't remember.
Heavy is the head that wears the crown.
That wears the crown. Yeah.
There we go.
Strong necks. Strong necks.
Totally.
Or share the crown. Pass it on when your neck gets tired, right? We can distribute a crown across the three of us. It's a very big crown. All are welcome under this crown. All right, lovelies. Anything you need to say on this one about how it'll show up for you this week?
I think I'm just going to do more of the same that kind of we established during our morning meeting, to just keep kicking it down the road with, positivity and intentionality too.
Yeah.
That we can choose to be one way or the other, and every avenue produces different outcomes. So think about what you want the end result to be, and act accordingly, I suppose. So and maybe also the idea that we're always ever leading by example, even when we don't think that anybody's watching. Yeah.
What do you have, Nina? Anything?
I want to watch this one emerge. I'm not sure how they show up this week, but I'll look out for it, and maybe I can report back at the start of next week's.
Okay.
I'm really not sure. I think I'd be making something up. But what about you, Emily?
I love that.
Honestly,
that's true. That's it. Naming the thing. That's how I'm feeling. Is what I'm seeing right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep an eye out. If I spot King Savior, I'll let you know.
That is king behavior right there.
Exactly.
Yes, 100%.
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
100%.
Thank you. Yeah.
When I
Uh-huh.
know, I'll let you know.
Yeah, not
Yep.
blowing smoke, you know?
Exactly. I
Yeah.
think there's something that keeps it's like on a loop in my brain. There's a few things lately that have been, and this one is how you do anything is how you do everything.
Mm,
Mhm.
mm,
Oh, yeah, I love that.
mhm.
And so I've been thinking about that and the energy I bring to even like the mundane sweep in the kitchen or whatever. Do you know, like what's the
Yeah.
energy I'm bringing to it? What am I infusing here? What's the intention?
Yeah.
I'm checking myself when I'm getting frustrated about all this blah, 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 tasks and crumbs and da da
Yeah.
da, and I'm putting loving attention into I have the opportunity to care for this place that houses my family. And anyhow,
Yeah.
that's
Mhm.
just on loop. So I think I'm feeling like that is going to show up in my leadership and how I lead our mission, how we lead our mission together.
Love that.
Totally. Totally. We
All
got this.
right. We totally do. I love you all.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.